seen a stand-up comedy. See, I'm a laugh now, you can turn over. But so now I know who I can go to for help and can leave meetings in the office. She said she's going to teach me how to do the mom's maiden routine. So, I think it's funny. I'm going to stretch myself because I really believe that that is a huge part of development for self, for business, is not being afraid to come out of your box and taking chances and finding out what's new and what's happening. So tonight, I wanted to talk about positioning your business to prosper. I got a great introduction by Ms. Pamela Roberts from American Family, and thank you so much, Pamela, for that. I met her last year, and I have seen her at many community events, so they are definitely an organization that believes in community, because you don't just see them every now and then, you see them all the time. Did we also acknowledge State Farm? State Farm is in the house tonight. Miss Tanya. Tanya is so funny. Seattle is so small. Tanya comes in and she says, "Girl, do you remember me?" I said, "Nah." She and my sister-in-law are great friends, so that's what I love. Families and business with families. So welcome everybody on behalf of the Black Gold Mega Event Team and Panel. I wasn't the only one that heard that. Okay. I wanted to talk to you just a little bit about positioning your business to prosper. What I specialize in is event planning, graphic design, and so image and presentation are such a key part of growing your business. When you think about your marketing materials, all of your image materials, they have got to be at a level of excellence. So often, I see people or I hear people say, "Oh, I'm trying to get a contract with State Farm or American Family, Fortune 100 companies," and you can tell that their business cards were printed on their home computer, or their home printer, when the printer was running out of ink. It was a design that their husband said, "I'll hook it up for you." And it's like, no, honey, hook me up with a designer and a printer. If you want to do something for me for Mother's Day or Valentine's Day, we cannot in 2008, 2009, move forward with imaging and packaging that is not correct. And it starts from the very first email or the blast that you send out. Dr. Israel, you didn't know this, but so the Black Gold events, Michelle Alderson designed our logo last year, but we kept the logo, and so I put all the marketing materials together. So when you got your confirmation yesterday, you liked that. It was consistent. It was consistent. He sent me a note that said, "Awesome." And that's what we're talking about. We want our businesses to be represented as awesome, awesome, awesome. You gonna step in? We're gonna tag team you guys tonight. We're gonna do it a little different. A little for me, a little for Debrina, a little for me, a little for Debrina.
Well, you're actually going to be hearing from the panel as well, because we have some powerful questions that you're going to be hearing by the end of the questions, every single one of the individuals here in the front. But we wanted to start off by sharing a few principles that were heavy on our heart when it comes to positioning yourself to prosper. But before I go any further, I have three special men in my life that are here. This is amazing. I have my brother. Y'all met my brother, right? I have my husband, and then I also have my spiritual leader, Dr. Israel Lars. Thank you for being part of this wonderful family. I love your support. I appreciate your support. And so many of the principles that we talk about here, we talk about at New Millennium Kingdom First Church. It's fabulous. Gotta give honor. Gotta give honor. So the first principle I'd like to talk to you all about, y'all have notes? American Family gave me these beautiful portfolios. So you want to take notes, right? They gave it to you back there and in the chairs. Wow. Ismail, American Family, you all are fabulous. Thanks for your generosity. So what was Tawana's point? What did she say? Positioning yourself to prosper. What was her point?
Imaging.
challenge you to think about, from an identity standpoint, as it relates to your business, what is it that makes your business, your service, your product distinct from other folks who have a similar type of product or service? Oftentimes we're so good at listing what we offer, but what's more important is what makes you unique or distinct in what you offer. So if you're a printer, don't just say, we do brochures, we do signs, we do banners. Tell me, as a printer, what you do distinctly different from others who do signs, who do banners, who do business cards. If you're a salon owner or a hairstylist or a personal organizer or a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, etc., etc., don't just list what you provide or offer, but being able to articulate what makes what you offer distinct or different. I find that that's where the edge gets dull. So that would be one point. And I'm going to hand it back over to Twanda for another point, and I'll have one more point, and then we're going to let the panel share a little with you. Did y'all get that?
Yes.
Kimmy, did you get that? It's not question time yet. Write it down, write it down. Write it down.
One of the things that I also wanted to reiterate is the business of language. You know what I'm talking about? The business of language. A lot of times we are perceived by the language we speak. And as mostly a room of Black entrepreneurs, I'm not talking about, talking to each other on the side, or I'm talking about speaking to one another in a business environment, in a business language. If you do not speak correctly, it's going to come up, it's going to show as a point off when you're dealing in, you're having a business interaction. And you don't want that to come across that way. It's important for us to understand how we speak and how we write. If you are putting together a brochure or a business card or a postcard and you have misspelled words, how many people do you think are going to keep that card and say, I'm going to call her so she can misspell my information? And we laugh, but it's true, and we've gotten so comfortable, even with emails. Someone said, oh, it's just an email. So what? You still need to, get your message across properly, use correct English. One of the things that I don't laugh about it, but I notice a lot, is in the use of the word they and their. A lot of times you'll hear someone say they car. They car. It is not they car, it is their car. Y'all are laughing, but some of y'all say that. I'm joking. But so it's important to understand they is plural. It's plural. There is a possessive. These words show up again with don't versus doesn't. She don't know the answer. Didn't that sound right? No, it's not right. She doesn't know the answer. It is so important for us to understand the business of language. Barack, you had no doubt Obama, Oprah, they are African American people. There's no doubt about that. But their English and their grammar is correct. Their language, the business of language is on point every single time. It's impeccable. If you don't know something, ask somebody. I remember early on in my career, I had some trouble with some writings. And so I'm not afraid